This week, we're back in person. We share Davis Cup stories, we discuss things we would change in our careers if we could go back in time, and we have our first ever head-to-head draft on the show. It gets a little chippy. Welcome to the changeover.
Okay. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Changeover podcast. My name is Jody. To my left is Justin. It's just after 8 p.m. on a Friday night, so quick turnaround to get this episode out tomorrow. But yeah, we're just gonna go through a few topics. We asked Instagram to send in some topics, so today's episode is based solely off of what you guys sent in. If you're not subscribed already, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and comment down below. Just show some love.
Share with a friend, man.
And share with
Stop
a friend.
being
Yeah.
stingy.
Here we go. Topic number 1 is from Svat. He said, "You guys had many inspiring and talented guests. What did you take from their stories, experiences, and trainings into your games and preparations? And did you change anything?"
That is a good question. I'm not sure if I've changed anything, really. I feel like sometimes the questions that I ask might be actually for me to see if my thinking is in line with someone else's, if they feel the same. I think what I've learned is that tennis really is a very individual game. Like I said, everybody already knew that, but the more you speak to other good players, you realize that it's a personal thing. Like my favorite question I ask almost everybody about the playing patterns versus tactics. I was probably half the guys would say that they play mostly tactics, and the other guys would say they play mostly patterns. I think I probably lean more into the pattern side, and that just has to do kind of with probably game style, where your strengths are, and just kind of who you are as a player. I think that you have to kind of personalize everything, because tennis, there's no one size fits all. That's kind of what I've figured out
Yeah.
by doing this. You?
The 2 episodes that stand out to me, I would say Ethan Quinn's episode a little bit, just because, he was very clear with his identity. And if you look at his results, it's not like as soon as he went pro, he just went crazy. I feel like he had a little bit of a plateau. And I guess his message in the podcast was partly to, play into his strengths, and like, I don't know, it's not about necessarily getting the win today, but, play to his strengths. He wanted to obviously be aggressive with his forehand, and he made a lot of mistakes in the past and that sort of stuff. So I feel like someone who had a little bit of an identity crisis and was not that sure of themselves would have changed and said, okay, maybe let me start making some balls or whatever. So, I mean, you can tell he was persistent in his way, maybe stubborn in his way, and, he's having a little bit of a breakthrough now. He's doing really well. And the other one I would say is Brandon Holt. To me, the highs can't be too high and the lows can't be too low, because, you play 35 tournaments a year.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't have time to celebrate to win. I won 4 futures last year, and probably all of them I had to play another tournament 3 days later, 2 days later. So you have a day to celebrate, and then you have to go right to another tournament. So the highs can't be too high, and obviously the lows can't be too low. You can't get too beat up, because, like I said, you have 35 tournaments to play in the year. Well, I do, at least. So
yeah.
So
Maybe
I think those are 2 that stand out to me.
Maybe I'm just talking because now if I think about it, when you say that, one, yeah, like you said, whatever your identity is, it has to be clear. That's clear to me, that these people, they know who they are and what they're good at, what they're not good at, and they kind of, they're clear on that 100%. And then, yeah, it also gives me hope talking to a lot of these people, like, to know that the people that you might sit here and see doing so well, having these results and whatever, they also have doubts, and they also have these internal struggles that maybe no one really sees or knows about. And I feel maybe less alone, because I know I have my certain struggles, whatever, with the injuries and whatever. But even people who are out there doing well, they're thinking about these things, and they're having to overcome things that maybe I'm not aware of. So
Yeah.
it gives me hope that Um, yeah, that is still possible. You know.
Like struggles that I thought was extremely hard to me when you find out that a bunch of other players are thinking the same things and you look at them, you wouldn't think that they're thinking the same
Hmm.
things. It's like maybe it's not so bad.
Yeah.
Like maybe feeling pressure in certain moments, and it's just natural for people to not be in the present.
Hmm.
Sometimes you're holding on to bad results or bad points earlier in the match, or
Yeah.
you're thinking ahead, oh shit, what happens if I win this match? What happens if
Hmm.
I lose this match? I have points to defend, all this stuff. Is like we have so much in common, from the people who are unranked to the people who are playing the slams at the
Yeah,
top of the game and
I
that
was
type
having
of
a
stuff. So
conversation with Kova. I was training with him at the Delray side, and he was talking about that as well. Like he was saying that at each level we all feel the same things. So like if he's to pull up right now and play a 25K, he he could possibly lose, but like the matches are all on him, and he knows that he is supposed to win, and he has to deal with that pressure. But he feels the same when he goes and plays a Grand Slam and he has Dimitrov first round. He can tell Dimitrov a little bit on
yeah,
edge, but and Kova's a guy who's doing really well right now. I think he's in the semis of what's that Montpellier, and yeah, we just spoke about how they're the same issues, just at a different
yeah,
location and a different, let's say, level based on the tournaments you're at, whatever. But people are going through the same things, and you can't really get away from the. It's not like you become top 100 and now you're stress free. Like the same things come back. Now you when you go challenges, you're the guy.
but
You
isn't
know.
it crazy that you can like sit and, let's say we didn't have this podcast, right?
Hmm.
And two years ago we're sitting on TV watching these people play. Maybe you have an idea that they could be thinking about some of these things, but
Yeah.
you don't realize just how many
Yeah.
of the similar feelings and thoughts and processes they're going
Yeah.
through. Like,
Defending points, all this stuff.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
all the same. Like, and that's partly why we had some criticism. What was it, middle of last year, that the podcast was getting a little bit repetitive, where you had people talking about like they all grew up in a tennis academy. They went to college. They left college. They started the pros. They did this. They did that. And it's like all of us have similar, I guess, like pathways in terms of the same problems. All of us,
Hmm.
So that's why it bothers me sometimes when people sit on the outside and they watch these tennis players on TV and they just think it's easy, and they just see the person playing, or it's how good they are and that sort of stuff. It's like you don't know how much shit that these people are thinking about when they play.
And they have lives outside of tennis too, which can affect it. Like I don't know, man. It's I really enjoyed this process of the podcast and getting to know other players, which I'm not that guy at all. I'm the
I was
opposite.
about to give
I'm
you
the
shit, but I'm too tired to right now.
no, you could do it. Like I'm the opposite. At tournaments. I'm headphones in. Don't talk to me really. Like I'll say good morning. I'll give you a head nod, but I'm not talking to you unless I'm tight or cool
Yeah,
with you. So this has been a new experience for me, but I think it's also been eye opening that yeah, that everybody's going through stuff, and yeah, we all have the same goals, but we have our own things going on,
yeah.
and
I think
there's
kind of
no one way.
going back to the question, like there are other little things that I recall, like in Kova's episode, he was talking about some of the practice sessions and the hits that he has during the week, how like, and I guess that's partly from the podcast and partly from being around him that week in Champagne. I practiced with him and he was like, yeah, super relaxed in the middle of the week, and that's kind of how I think I need to be. Like just
It's
enjoy
personality,
enjoy
right?
the time,
It's
and
personality.
not that I'm not working hard, because I work hard, but it's like if I focus too much on improving that sort of stuff, I get overwhelmed. I get
Hmm.
so little things like that. And then I think another episode that I liked was Nishesh. Like Nishesh's episode, to
Hmm.
me, like I appreciate like planning. I appreciate structure, and it makes sense. He was this way, and this happened, and he wanted this to happen, and that happened. So I appreciate those kind of episodes, and yeah, that stuff too.
One more thing that stood out to me was from that practice with Kova. We were playing a set, and I kept kicking to his backhand on second serves, and he kept struggling. Like he would miss returns or put it short, and I ended up getting broken twice because I would change the serve to his forehand a couple times, and he would hit a good forehand, and I would be on defense, whatever. And we sat down, and he was telling me like, "Bro, like if something is working, just abuse it." And there are people who say it differently. Like you would talk to when we were talking to maybe Ethan's coach or whoever, and they would say you have to mix and all this stuff. But he and his coach were talking to me, and they were like, pretty much maybe like 80-20, just abuse the thing that works.
No, you have to mix it if the shit is not working. If you're just doing one thing,
yeah,
it's not gonna work.
no, but like I'm
I
saying
don't
like
think
this.
Ethan's coach is not gonna tell me, Brian, if you're watching this, the man is not gonna tell me, and also Coach Kova too. So you're not gonna tell me if I'm kicking out wide to Kova, he's not gonna say, yo, buddy, go forehand if it's working every time.
No, what we were talking about was guys being too good at a certain level. They know it's coming, they're going to adjust.
Yeah.
Whatever. You said that a couple times in the podcast.
I think he was speaking specifically about like good returners, with all due respect, Kova, not that you're not a good returner, but like that if you give them the same thing twice is,
okay, but that's what I'm talking about.
Doubles. Sorry,
so I was talking to him, and I was like, yeah, but I felt like I was getting maybe like, it felt like I was going to it a lot. So I was like thinking, okay, 15-30 or 30-15 up, I'm gonna just switch it just to give you a different look. But he was like, man, you have to notice that I'm struggling on something and just make me insecure over there. Just do it, and you don't have to change things too much. He said, okay, now and then give me a different look so I don't get comfortable, but just being a little bit more comfortable with doing the same thing over and over, I think was important for me to know that these guys are not doing like 1,000 different things when they're playing the match. Like they kind of know what they need to do, and they kind of do it a lot, and they're smart about when they give a second look. I would say that stood out to me.
Yep. Anything else?
I have nothing else on that topic.
So all of the other guests were worthless.
No, I just think you relate to some and you don't relate to others as much, And the spring water from Kudla.
Shut up, dog. Okay. Also, it's Davis Cup week. Do you agree that in Davis Cup the rankings of the players don't matter? I'm not sure who said that, but I think I agree.
For what?
Like in terms of your opponents, I guess this is implying that doesn't matter the singles ranking. Like it's not a reflection of the level of the match on the day.
I mean, I think that's case by case. Like now,
I agree, because you're gonna have people who don't play as much, people who are hurt.
But if you look in their history, you can see who's a good player and who's not what. So
I think that's what this is implying. Yeah.
So yeah, like right now you have Darian playing. I think he might be 1,000 something in the world right now, but the guy has quality of a top 150 player, and he's gonna beat up on guys because he's just very good, and that happens. You have Davis Cup is a weird thing where people who don't play anymore still get ready to play. Like Randy from Jamaica, he stopped playing for the last, I don't know,
was it a year? Was it a year ago that he wasn't playing and he beat Estonia 1-on-1? Guy like 600.
Yeah, like they're good players who love their country, and if the opportunity comes for them to compete for the country, they'll put in a good 6 to 8 week training block, and they're still good at tennis. So that happens. Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Any Davis Cup stories, Justin?
Nothing that's not X-rated. That's fun to listen to. So I'm just gonna let you take it away. I don't have much.
The only one that I can think of is, I don't remember what year it was. It might have been my 3rd or 4th year playing Davis Cup. It was in Costa Rica. Mm-hmm. My first year playing Davis Cup, I got killed. Like I think I went 1-3. The only win was against Randy on the last day. And then we went to the hard courts in Costa Rica the next 3 years, and I did really well in Costa Rica. But our team wasn't that good, so I don't remember how the week went. I think I might have lost only one match during the week. I won like 3. Maybe I was 3-1, but we lost all of our matches or something, and we ended up having to play to stay in Group 3 on a Saturday. So on Friday they had some teams who already got promoted, and they had other teams who knew they were safe. And then they had some teams that had to play to go up, and then some teams that had to play to stay in that group. So we were playing against Panama to stay in the group. And it's Friday night, and I'm like fucking sad, bro, because I get to see other people happy that they're already going up.
Partying.
Getting ready to, like, I'm at dinner and people are coming through, like, getting ready to go out, have a night out and stuff. And I'm like, dog, I have to eat and stretch and go to sleep, you know?
Yeah.
But then I remember the next day we're playing Panama. And I remember I started the match and I see Randy at the back. And it's like, have you played in Costa Rica before at the, what is it? Costa Rica Racket Club or something? No. At Copa Cafe, whatever. It's like the court, and then right behind the court is like a little elevation, and that's where everyone is. and that's where the Antigua team was.
Mm-hmm.
And then right to the back, you just see Randy, and he has on shades, and he's just standing like this, and he's not
You know his
moving.
eyes low. You know
Must
his
be
eyes low,
hungover
low,
out of
low.
his mind watching. But
Wasn't there a story where the Bahamas Davis Cup team was cheering for you against Costa Rica? You were playing
the
Jesse, and
Bahamas,
that wasn't
no, no,
you.
no, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. But I know. I remember the day. It was the Bermuda team cheering for Bahamas against Costa Rica.
Oh, okay,
That's what it was. Yeah. Okay. There's a video of that somewhere. I don't know if we can get the video and put it in. But Davis Cup is fun. Davis Cup is a lot of fun. All right. Next question is from Calvin. Hey brothers, I have a question I'd like to ask. On the tour, do you guys take any supplements like creatine, whey protein, collagen, magnesium, vitamins, etc.?
all that.
I know on tour it can be hard on the body, and I'd like to know how you maintain your bodies in mind.
For me, I take. I'm not gonna give any brands because we don't have no sponsors, but I take a multivitamin for the AM and for the PM. I take collagen. I take whey protein. I take fish oil, and I do take creatine as well. And those are the supplements that I take. You? Similar, no?
No, no, bro. I take just the morning and PM multivitamins and fish oil. I don't
You
do.
don't drink protein?
I do protein shakes, yeah, sometimes. Like now I do protein shakes, but like when I'm at tournaments and stuff, I don't really drink protein shakes. I don't do creatine. I do. I've never done collagen. Collagen is protein too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Never done collagen.
It's good for the hair and the skin and the nails and the bones and those
Don't do
things.
that.
That's what it's
Don't
good for.
do that.
That's what it's good for.
Oh my god.
If you're new here, Jody's bald, so that was a bald joke. You're welcome. Now you can rewind it and then laugh again. Thank you.
Like the video. Okay. Next question, since we're on that topic, from Kyle. Injuries suck, but they're a part of sports. In hindsight, would you do anything differently at earlier stages of your career or journey, like as a junior, to help with injury prevention?
Junior, no. But I remember vividly the COVID break 2020. I was in Texas and I was very idle and eager to improve. And we had this ball machine, and I was working with Taylor at the time, and I was obsessed with working on certain shots on the ball machine, and I would spend like 5 to 6 hours a day
Easily.
like hitting like the same 2 shots. And it was great. I mean, I improved those shots immensely, fantastic. But then that's the first time I had like a slight tear in the calf, because that was when he held like an event. Jody's held an event for players in the area who were pros and they would make some money. He raised money and organized this whole thing. I think Mitchell Kruger played, Hans Hack, a bunch of guys played, and I couldn't play because I had injured myself the week before in my calf, and I never really got injured before that, unless it was like a impact injury, like I fell or like I hurt myself that way. And it seems like ever since that time, I've been picking up these little injuries, like same like that. Like that one lasted maybe like 6 to 8 weeks, and I've had a bunch of those since then. So I think one thing I would change is that I would manage my time better. I wouldn't spend more than 3 hours on the court a day, and I would just be intentional and just try to get good work in over a long period of time, as opposed to like trying to cram 7 hours a day for 2 weeks and then hurting myself and burning myself out. If I could go back, I would not have gone crazy that COVID break.
What about fitness?
Fitness. I feel like I've always been decent in the gym. Like I think there have been times where I probably lifted a bit heavier than necessary. Like I think looking back, but I don't know if I've ever got hurt in the gym either. But maybe I would take the fitness, I don't want to say less seriously. I would just use fitness as what it's for, as a thing to help me get better at tennis, not to do fitness as well as I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Don't be a professional fitness doer.
That would be one
Like,
of my
just use
that'd be one of my biggest things. Like that
Yeah.
I would probably, not that I've done any crazy fitness in my life, but like I agree. You're not a fitness like
You're not a
athlete.
fitnesser.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not a
Yeah,
conditioning
so I would like
warrior.
use fitness as a way to stay available and stay sharp, and I guess you can utilize like off season or like training blocks if you need to get in shape and build up somewhat of a tolerance so you can maintain it throughout the year. But other than that, I wouldn't really go crazy. Like I feel like you have some fundamental things that you need to have. Like you need to have, a certain amount of core strength, legs, maybe some shoulder and like explosive stuff.
Hmm.
And then cardio and breathing. Besides that, like that has a lot, like your body has a lot to do with diet and hydration and
Yeah,
sleep.
and I
So
would
sleep would be a huge one, I think. Sleep more.
yeah, and I would prioritize mobility a bit more. I think I've become pretty good at that of recent. And yeah, to be honest, bro, I feel like I would have tanked a bit more. Like I feel like I have this thing
Can
where
you explain to them,
I'm gonna get there.
please? Because it
I'm on a
sounds
podcast.
bad
I'm
when
on
you
a
say that.
podcast speaking. I'm gonna get there.
It
Don't worry.
sounds bad when you say I'm gonna tank
I would
more.
have tanked a bit more. Like I have this idea in my mind that I have to do everything to the 100%, and if I don't do everything to 100%, then I'm not doing enough, right? And that's not the case. Like it's how do I phrase this in a way that's not bad? But it's yeah, like it's okay to not go 100% of fitness if you just had a rough session on the court and you're already tired. Like you beating yourself into the ground just so you can complete some
Yeah,
arbitrary workout
100%.
is not an effective use of your time, and it's gonna set you back for the next days of training, and you're gonna have a hard time just getting through the week as opposed to
Exactly.
prioritizing using this time to do what I need to do so that I can be on the court and get better on the court tomorrow.
It depends
And
on what your priority is, right?
yeah, but
Because if you're losing matches because you're
but it's
fitness,
never
then
really been my problem. Like I'm strong enough. Maybe at times I've had some issues with the breathing, but I feel like that might have been more to do with tension than anything else. And
tension meaning like
in my
nerves
body,
and
like
like,
being
yeah,
nervous and like breathing too shallow because I want it so bad or I'm nervous or whatever. So in that sense too, I would have tanked a bit more. Like how I'm playing right now in practice, I'm playing really well, but I'm doing what feels like not trying. Like I'm chilling. Like I'm not exerting myself too crazy, and I feel like I'm actually moving a bit more fluid. I'm getting to balls easier. I'm not getting tired on the court as much. I'm not missing as much, and I think yeah, maybe tanked is the wrong word, but I would have taken it a lot easier. Is what I would say. I wouldn't have over tried. Like I don't think that being the best trainer, the best at practicing, makes you the best tennis player.
yeah.
I
Yo, you
think
have someone in your bed.
mm,
Yeah, good.
yeah, I just don't think that that is
I
true.
I think a perfect example is like this week, like so Monday lifted and trained.
Hmm.
Tuesday was cardio, and I ran sprints decently strong. Wednesday lifted, and then I felt like I started to get really tired in training, and it was bothering me. Like on my Whoop, it was showing that like I was having like 17, 18, 19 strain days out to 21. So I was like, last week I completed all my fitness, but the weights were a little bit less than I was doing this week,
Hmm.
and maybe the speed on the sprints was a little bit less this week. So I don't know if I stepped up and it made me even more tired.
Yeah.
And we switched to clay, which is even more physical to me. So like I decided to not do the sprints yesterday and not the lift today. And then tomorrow we have a day off, so I'll go in the gym and do the lift tomorrow. But like, because I feel like if I completed the lifts and the cardio like Thursday and Friday, yesterday and today, it would have severely impacted my training. I have a
Yeah.
tournament next week, so it's like
Yeah.
because then like the racket gets heavy, it's hard to swing. The legs are heavy. Maybe like my fucking knees hurt. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
For me now, there are like couple non-negotiables. It's like my breathing work and the mobility. Like I'm gonna do those things every day because those things are never gonna kill me, and I think they're important for me at this point in time. And like if I miss a fitness, so I don't do 3 sets of 50 pounds each hand on this or whatever, it's not doesn't matter.
what I'm like, what I feel strongly about now is like maintenance work
Mm-hmm.
during a week. Like that's something I haven't done as well in the past, and I there were times last year that I did it really well, and I think that's important. Like you have this base level of fitness that you have, and then you have these exercises that are catered specifically to your body and what you need. So let's say I'm a player that I have elbow issues. Maybe I need to spend time during the week doing exercises for, I don't know, forearm, shoulders,
Like
core,
prehabilitation.
like that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. And that can take up places and time during the week on a tournament week where other people will just train, play a match, stretch, go to sleep, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's something that, especially as at juniors, you don't really think about that much. Because, bro, honestly, like in juniors, they're like, I feel like tennis has a very strong reputation in overtraining players, spending way too much time on the court, just getting a million reps and that
Straight
sort
up.
of stuff. So,
I was in Jamaica at the Big Nels house, and they're involved in this football team, soccer team in Jamaica. And there was a player from Barbados. Darian sent him over to see if he could fit to join the team. And we were talking about tennis training schedule. And Blaze's mother was like, yeah, tennis players work harder than every other sport that I've ever seen. She said that they spend about 4 hours on court and an hour in fitness every day, and then they still have to do a stretching and whatever, whatever. And the guy looked at her like she had three heads. He's like, "What?"
mhm,
He said a tough session for football players is like an intense hour and a half,
yeah.
and then they're done. And he was like, "What you mean practicing
That's what I
5
was
hours a
thinking,
day?"
like, because I like football a lot. So, like, I'm a United fan, and I'm always curious to hear what these guys train like during the week.
Mm,
And for like, let's say play a game today, I understand they probably run so much that their legs have so much lactic acid and whatever that a lot of the time the next day they have a day off or maybe a light session or whatever. But for us, it's like we have a match, then the next day you have another match. You have to
mm,
play. If you want to play singles, you're playing 5 to 7 matches in a week, like
mm.
to win a futures. And doubles is only fun. It's obviously way less physical in doubles, but singles, like you don't have the luxury of just going day off next day and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, his whole world was his mind was blown. He was like, "What?" And then when they told him to win 5 matches in the same week, he said we play. He said we play once, maybe twice in a
Yeah.
week.
I think also tennis is not like other sports where in baseball the pitchers are gonna have counts. You're gonna pitch a certain amount of pitches in a training session.
Or
In
you play
basketball,
minutes.
you're
Yeah.
putting up a certain amount of minutes or a certain amount of shots or whatever. Like tennis, they don't do that. Like when Ferry said that he's doing rehab and he has this serve count to do, I haven't heard that before in tennis. And then also my physio told me this morning also that he thinks he wants to put me on a serve count similar to baseball. But before that, I never heard of no serve count. It's like, bro, serve count. You're gonna go out here and serve a whole
First time I
basket.
heard it
Yeah.
was Baggy said something about it. Like I don't know what it was that I had pain with, but he was talking about like 40 or 60 something. Like yeah, he had like a thing, but I don't know. Yeah.
My physio was telling me, Tyler, you're not watching this anyway. So he's telling me like hit 10 serves. I'm like, bro, you know how little 10 serves is?
Tennis just to
Like
get the
if
arm
I
going.
not even like 10 serves, I'm not even warm. Like I need like a solid 15 to 20 serves before I can really crank it. And I'm still not
Really?
cranking it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Bro, I need like 5, 6, and I'm good.
Oh, you don't understand what's going on in my elbow. I
Yeah, I
haven't
know.
been able to do
Yeah,
that in a long time. In years, actually.
you have to ease your way
Yes,
into.
yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that tennis overtrains actually. And I believe that it goes back to like what you said at the very beginning. Your first point is like I feel like if you target it a little bit better and be more deliberate with your training, you don't need to overtrain. And in the reputation, for me, a lot of it is guilt. It's like I see all these other people playing so much. And it's like I can't be the one that trains less, and all these other guys are doing 2 a days and fitness and all this stuff. Is
Yeah,
like,
bro. Like being around Darian there in Jamaica, it's like he was talking and he was like, what made him good a little bit was like he was lazy. Like he didn't want to be like you see guys in the gym going crazy and whatever, whatever, or practicing, and he just getting it done in the way that costs the least amount of effort.
don't kid yourself. Darren is unreal at tennis. The
No, but
man
he's
is just
I'm not.
chilling and just like he's
I
very
wouldn't
talented.
kid myself.
He's very talented.
But we were talking about like his mindset also was like I'm gonna get things done and then I'm done with it. Like there are
Mm.
guys. He said like when he would train at Saddlebrook, he would train with Kudla and Roberto Sid and whoever was there at the time. Guys between let's say 50 and 200 in the world, and he would do the tennis in the morning and the fitness, and then those guys would play again in the afternoon. And Darren Doug practice every afternoon. He said they do the versa climber,
Oh.
and he's sneaking out. He done like he's not doing it. But yeah, he didn't really get hurt too much either, though, except when his wrists start hurting. But yeah, I think I need to be a little bit more on the relax side.
All in all, just be smarter with the time and more deliberate with the time, and you don't need to overtrain. That would be the biggest changes. Um, that also helps with the next question. Blaine asked if we could talk about burnout of young tennis players from parental pressure. Um, I don't know how much we can talk about that, but I believe that what we just said in terms of spending less time on court, just doing a million reps of the same thing.
But
Because
I've seen,
if you do so much of it, you're not doing all of them the right way. So it's better to do a smaller amount of time, very targeted, very deliberate, the right way, than doing 6 million of them. Because then it's boring. Like it gets boring for kids.
but the parental pressure thing, I've seen it. I've seen players who they're playing because their dad or their mother wants them to play, and if they lose a match, it's belt to ass. And
You've seen that.
I've seen things get uncomfortably physical with children and their parents, and then you hear stories about people getting beaten and whatever. If I've yes, that is a thing that exists in my childhood, and I've seen those a lot of those players who talk to them about tennis. They don't like tennis. They it's what they're good at. It's what they've spent a lot of time doing in their life, but it's not a love for them. It's something that they feel that they were forced into doing. And yeah, I can see how. I guess we can all see how that can lead to burnout and not and not wanting to play the sport anymore. So I don't know if you want advice. I can't really give you any advice. I'm not a parent, but to the parents out there, I think just make sure your kids want to do the thing that you have them doing. Like don't overforce it.
Yeah, I would say that, and also try your very best to decide what you are. Are you the parent or are you the coach?
Oh my
Because
gosh,
the mix is
that's a big one.
impossible. So, like, I believe that if you're sending your child to a certain coach, then I'm hoping that you've done your research and the coach is the coach for your child. So put all the trust and faith in the coach. And if you have any issues, talk to the coach, not to the player, not to the child. Like try not to get in between, and also try not to guide a discussion a certain way to get your point across. I believe it's very important
Be the
to
support system.
yeah.
You should be the person that if your son or daughter is struggling, they come speak to and you give them reassurance or you nudge them with some encouraging words or whatever. Or if they want to talk about a certain thing, then okay, maybe if they bring it to you and they want to speak about it, okay, then you guys speak about it, your opinions or whatever. But for the most part, me knowing for my feeling, all I want to hear from my parents, especially if I'm struggling, is that it's okay and to keep going. And that's pretty much it. Like I don't really need you to tell me about forehands and backhands and my mentality and this and that. And because most of the time you haven't seen the match and you don't know tennis as well as I know it or my coach knows it. So it's not really helpful.
And also maybe from the parent, another some more advice to the parents is just trust the coach. Like trust that you've made the right decision, and trust that the coach cares about your child. Maybe they're not going to care about your child as much as you care about your child, but still, like if it's a respectable coach, an honest coach, then they care and they're going to do what's best for the player. So yeah, and then make sure they're having fun. Like make tennis fun for them. I'm stringing up my racket using my Pro Stringer. I've had this machine for 4 or 5 years now. The Pro Stringer is a portable stringing machine. It's very durable. It's accurate. I never have any issues with the tension being incorrect and stuff. It's easy for me to know what to expect from the racket. And we at the Changeover actually have a partnership with Pro Stringer. So if you'd like to go and purchase one, you can go to the website and you get to save $100 off a brand new Pro Stringer when you use our discount code Changeover in the checkout. So if you're interested in a portable stringing device, I highly recommend this machine. Saves a lot of money in stringing fees. And like I said, I take it everywhere I go and string all of my rackets on this machine. Next question is from Jono. My question is around practice. If one of the top seeds of a high-level tournament would like to practice with you, what is tennis etiquette? Should you also be working on things during that practice since you're also a player of the tournament, or do you just do whatever to ensure that they get a good hit?
If I'm playing a
So you're
tournament,
playing a futures or a challenger or
yeah, I
whatever, and
don't
one of the
care.
better
I'm
players.
training. Yeah, I'm training. Like if I'm a hidden partner at a tournament or something, then it's my job to cater to your
Yeah,
needs as a player. But if I'm there to compete, this is our session. This is not your session.
yeah.
So
If the tournament hasn't started yet, 95% of the time. Like it would happen where if I'm out and I've already
oh,
trained for the
that's
day and
different.
someone else needs a hit, but if you're about to play the tournament and if I'm about to play the tournament and the one seed asks me to practice, we're practicing. We're practicing. It's not like
Yeah, not at all. There's no like catering to the other person. It's we help each other get what we need done, and then we shake hands, and that's the end of it. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Facts.
respect. Yeah.
Steven asks if do we have any Karue season expectations? Where do we see him get into ranking wise?
I don't
this
spend
is
much.
this is something that we didn't want to do
I
as a
don't.
podcast.
I
Get into
won't
these
lie to you. I
predictions.
don't spend much time thinking about Karu's season. I like Karu. I think he's doing a great thing over there on his channel, and he's been super kind to us, helped us with a lot of advice, and been on the podcast twice now. And I'm sure we'd love to have him on again in the future. I hope Karu makes the slams and he does achieve all his goals, but
Did he win
I
today?
I don't know. He's probably playing right now.
Sorry, I
I
didn't mean to
think
cut
he
you off.
has the ability for sure to play the slams and to do some damage there. But how high he can go, I don't know. But I think he's a very good tennis player. So
I believe that one of the
yeah,
things
I
that,
don't know.
in my opinion, were one of his weaknesses is something that he's addressing in his serve.
Hmm.
Like to me, his serve looks better, like the service motion at least, and I guess that's testament to his beliefs that age doesn't really matter as much as people say it does. Like you always hear people say like how difficult it is for people to change things the older they are and that
Hmm.
sort of stuff. It's like I feel like with Karue that's gone out the window. It's like the man he's making technical changes that looks like it's improving his
Yeah.
game. Like I look at his serve and I don't know if the stats are improving yet,
Hmm.
like the percentage and the locations and all this stuff, but it looks better.
Did he play
So
yet?
he just started. He's down a break
Yeah.
1-0.
Oh, okay. And I think another thing might also be how he deals with pressure this year because he's gonna have quite a few points to defend, and the guy is pretty vocal about hating to travel. So I think it's gonna matter less about his tennis. I think he's a very good player. It's gonna be a little bit more about how he just handles the lifestyle of being a pro with the pressure of having to back up a good year and then put points on top of it. But yeah, tennis wise, I think he's as good as most of the guys that I watch play tennis. Yeah.
Okay, so
Good luck, Karoo.
we have no season
I'm
expectations
gonna
for him.
say
It
top.
feels wrong to say though.
Yeah, I
It
don't want
feels
to put
wrong to
any numbers on
predict.
the man's thing.
Yeah. Let's not do that.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Come on.
Sorry, Steven. Clark asked, "What's your favorite tennis ball?"
Dunlop Ford Max TP.
You're lying.
Swear to God.
Really?
Dunlop Ford Max TP.
Mine is the pre-COVID Wilson U.S. Open.
The Wilson US Open ball is so bad now, bro. It feels like hollow. Like you hit the ball and
But
it's
it's not
like
just that one. It's all the balls. They all you take it out the can and it's soft.
it feels soft. It feels kind of dead from hitting with it. The sound is off. You don't get that nice sound anymore. It sounds like
Watch
sounds
this. Watch
terrible.
this. I believe in Wilson, and I believe that a company like Wilson is going to do their best to get back to the levels that we know Wilson can be. Wilson, you can do it.
Get back to pre-COVID Wilson.
You can do it.
This guy's fishing for sponsorship.
Wilson, you guys can do it.
Reel him in, man.
You can do it. All right. Sebastian Bing says, outside of Sin and Alcaraz, who do you think is the next best player in the next 5 years?
The next best player. People keep talking about Fonseca. I haven't watched him play that much, but obviously he's unreal. I don't know, man.
You know what's funny? We had comments on Instagram when Karue was talking about how good he thought Fonseca was, and the comments were saying, stop putting unnecessary pressure on people. But it's like, are we putting unnecessary pressure because Like Karue, for
brother,
example, is he putting unnecessary pressure
brother.
because he's saying that he believes he's good?
Every match that Fonseca's gonna play, he's gonna come into a press conference and they're gonna ask him about his future and Sinner and Alcaraz. He is not worried about the change of a podcast or
You say
Caruso
that when
talking.
we have 3,000 subs. They said that we deserve 100,000 subs. So when we start popping, what about then?
Even then, because we're not speaking directly to João Fonseca, unless he sits down on this couch and we say to him stuff about that. I think he's gonna have way more encounters with press and media in Brazil. He's like the king of Brazil right now.
Bro, I feel like all we were doing was like showing love and respect to a player that, well, not even me, because I haven't seen him play, but all Karue was doing is showing love and respect to a player that from his country that he believes is a good player and is going to do well. So I don't believe it was like if he doesn't make top 10, he is
Ew.
a failure.
What
You
I
know,
think,
like, come on.
what I think is that we always think we're never gonna see stuff again. Like, you know how when Djokovic, Federer, Nadal, Murray were doing this thing where they were in deep in every slam, whatever, and we were like, oh my gosh, the golden era of tennis, like it's never gonna come around again, blah 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 blah. And now you have these freaks and Sinner and Alcaraz. I just think in the next 2 years, there's gonna be another kid that we've never heard of who's gonna shoot through and do something crazy.
Yeah.
Like who saw Jacob Fernley coming? Pause. Whoa. Whoa. But from college, winning every challenger, now into third round of Australian Open. Like I just think that the world is bigger and has more talent than we know. So I just think that in 5 years, I don't know who's gonna be the next guy, man. And right now I don't really care, man. I just think I want to see good tennis.
You don't care about the
question that
from
sorry. Sorry, I don't care.
I wish I could answer, but that's literally impossible to predict.
That's what I'm saying.
Sebastian. It's so hard to predict.
He said it in much kinder words. You can't predict
because
it.
I care about our audience.
I don't not care about him. I just think the question is like a question that I don't care to answer. Like I don't think that it's. I keep using the word care.
Anyway,
it's a question that I cannot answer for you.
Anyway, I just broke the couch again.
We need a new couch.
So yeah, we do need a new couch. But all right, last topic for the day. We're gonna play a game. So we're gonna make a draft. 5 players. And it's gonna be a team. So me versus Justin. We're each gonna draft 5 players, and then you guys are gonna decide which team would win. So it's the first player they're gonna draft is a top 5 player. Second is a top 10. Third is a top 50. Fourth is the top 100, and then the 5th is just a wild card. It can be any player from any era. This is obviously all
any
men's.
era.
Any era. Like if you want to go right now, a current player now, if you want to go retired, whenever you want. Like it doesn't matter. Any player from any time. You can just put them in. Here's what we'll do.
I have questions.
Okay.
Can I say, for example, John Smith in the season of 2003?
Do we go prime?
Prime. Okay, I like that.
We do. But if we do like a top 5 player in their prime.
Yeah.
But then some of the top 5 players not in their prime yet. So you're just gonna take their best level currently. Let's say Sinner's not at his prime yet, for example.
How about just for the last pick is prime that person?
Okay, last pick is prime.
Everybody else is current form.
Okay, and then here's what we'll do. We go back and forth on who gets to go first.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do rock, paper, scissors. Whoever wins the rock, paper, scissors gets the first guess. Right? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Hold on. What's this? All right, one more. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. This is... All right, this is the last one, though. Okay, I got it. Yes. Yes. We battle. Number 1 pick. Let me get out these rankings. Let's get these
top
rankings.
5 first?
Top 5. My number 1 pick is Yannick Sinner.
Clearly. Carlos Alcaraz.
Okay.
Wait. What surface are we playing on?
We're playing on hard.
Like Australian Open hard?
Let's go US Open. I like US Open.
Yeah, Alcaraz. Take Alcaraz.
Okay, hold on.
No. Too late.
That's fine. Take that pick. What I'm saying is so in the game now, on court 1, Sinner plays Alcaraz. So now we go to court 2. You get to pick first. Anyone in the top 10?
Wait. So from 5 to 10.
No, you can pick from 1 to 10. Oh, should we do that? Yeah, from 5 to 10, I guess.
Novak Djokovic.
And we're not going off of we're going currently. He's currently hurt, my boy.
Brother, his last matches, bro. Talk about his current form, bro.
Fuck. Current form. So now we have to go from 5 to 10.
Yeah, brother.
So from 5 to 10, we got Djokovic, Medvedev, Demonor, Tommy Paul, Rublev. None of them have beaten Djokovic night match on Ash. You know what I mean?
They're not.
Bro. Shout out Tommy Paul. I'm just going to Tommy.
Yeah, I guess. That's not a bad show. He's probably in the best form of the people that
All
I
right.
could call.
Now we're going from 10 to 50.
Woo!
Oh, my word. What is this guy doing here?
Yo, we got some ballers in the... Yo, we got some ballers, bro.
I'm going Rune.
What?
Yeah, I'm going Holger.
Bro,
Rune.
give me... Yo, you see that picture right there? That man balling right now. Gael Monfils.
You picking Monfils?
Right now, his form, he just won Auckland. Friggin' fourth round or quarters of Australian Open. You crazy? Rune.
Is Rune a bad pick?
Right now, he's been playing horrible for the last year.
He just lost to Senna in 4.
This is his first good tournament in so long. He's not been playing. He's a very good player, but he's not been playing well.
How about we let the fans pick?
Gael Monfils.
Pick someone. 50 to 100, guy.
50 to 100. Who we looking at? Man, dirty. Man, brutal.
Yo, tennis is crazy. Look how many good players we got.
Yo, I want Lerner Tien.
Lerner Tien?
Yeah, bro, the man balling.
From 50 to 100, you're picking Lerner Tien.
Right now.
Fine. Pick him. I don't give a shit.
Right now. Man just beat Medvedev. Maybe.
Fonseca's 99. Didn't Fonseca just beat him at Next Gen?
I didn't even look that deep. Crazy. I didn't even look that far. That's probably a good shout.
Am I going Fonseca? Fonseca versus Lerner.
That's probably a good shout.
Fonseca.
I probably messed that up. Not looking through the whole draw.
Fonseca. And number 5, I get to pick?
Yeah, go. Rafa?
This is
at US Open too
actually.
late.
I didn't pick him.
I
didn't pick him.
Yo.
At US Open.
VAR. The man just looked back at the picture.
Is it written
and
down on my
pointed.
board? Is it written down on my board?
Yo.
See, that says Senna, Tommy, Rune, Fonseca.
This is our first draft. We're gonna make rules after this. After this, the crowd can decide. The audience decides if that's allowed. You can't be doing that.
Come on now. I didn't
In
say
my opinion,
final answer. I didn't say final answer.
I didn't change my Tien pick.
At US Open though, what was Rafa's and Fed's head-to-head record? Why?
Brother.
Why?
Okay, go. Man forgot the venue we were playing in. Brother. Though, I will say...
That's still not easy for Fed. Who are you going to pick? Djokovic is already picked, isn't he? You already have Djokovic.
So who else? Him? No, but the year Rafa won US Open, that first time, he was serving bombs. When he beat Djokovic in like 2000
We said prime, didn't we?
But I don't know if that's his.
No,
like,
but we said prime.
Rafa has different primes though. Like
I know who I'm about to pick if we're talking primes.
Who?
I'm picking him. Fuck it. Delpo. US Open. Prime US Open. Delpo, the man was whapping the ball all over the place. Left, right, and center.
Delpo
Who's beating him?
Good shout.
Good luck, buddy. My team is complete. Shout out to Elon. Pick someone.
But I can't pick anybody who's already been picked.
How are you going to do that? Is he going to play twice at the same time?
This is current Novak and this is past Novak. What do you mean?
Guy,
you said
someone.
Any player?
Pick someone. You cannot pick the same person twice. You can't do that.
But listen to my logic.
Because I would have just picked
We
Novak
said
then. If I can do that, I would have just picked Novak here. Greatest of all time. Bam. Greatest of all
Alright.
time. He's the GOAT.
All right.
You cannot pick.
Then I'm gonna have to take.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Who's beaten Prime Delpo at US Open?
Prime Federer.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, bro.
You think if Delpo was healthy, how many slams he's getting? If he wasn't like if he didn't have that career, like
Probably win a
injuries.
handful. I don't think he's gonna win like all the other guys won, but I think he wins a handful. I gotta think, brother. Is there anybody who was like his kryptonite? Nikolai Davydenko
You pick him.
destroyed him at the
You can pick him.
destroyed him at the finals of the thing. We playing 3 out of 5 sets here on these matches.
Sinner's beaten Alcaraz at US Open.
Are these 3 out of 5 matches?
Djokovic is beaten Tommy.
See, but that logic is not good
Why?
because when they played their current form, Sinner is different. Never mind.
Rune and Monfils, I feel like that can go either way.
Monfils wins.
Fonseca beats Tien, and no one's beaten Prime Delpo at US Open. Who are you gonna pick? Pick someone else with firepower. Gonzo. Pick Gonzo.
That's a terrible shout.
So you're gonna pick someone who can just defend, make a ton of balls?
Prime Rafa versus Delpo True.
You know Prime Delpo is a problem.
No, he's a problem for sure. But he beat Rafa that year when he won US Open. In the semis, I think.
People are gonna be mad that we left people out.
That's their business, bro.
Hewitt, Safin.
Like a Nalbandian.
This is gonna take too long. This is a podcast. You have to talk. You can't just sit here thinking all night long.
What you mean, bro? This is a conundrum. So you're picking 2009 Delpo or
I'm
whatever.
picking Prime Delpo.
Okay, then I'll take Prime Federer, bro. Prime Federer, I think he beats Delpo 7 out of 10 times. Yeah, I believe that. I think that Delpo played lights out that night, but 10 out of 10 matches, he's not gonna win. He's not gonna win more than Federer wins. No way.
All right. Well, there
No
you go,
way.
guys. You have our draft. Let us know in the comments down below who you think will win. We have hopefully up on the screen here somewhere each of our teams.
We
Let
need
us
draft
know-
rules next time, though.
What do you mean?
I don't
All I
like-
did was point to someone. I didn't pick him yet.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my.
Okay.
All right. I believe that wraps up all the questions. Let me double check Instagram really quick to make sure that y'all didn't sneak in any last minute questions. Marcus asked, "How's your elbow? My elbow still hurts." And also, is Justin fully fit?
Fully.
That's a yes. Catherine asked, "What's one item you cannot live without?"
My toe. Toothpaste. Brush your teeth, boy.
My phone.
You can't live without your phone? You
Oh, that's
cannot live without your phone.
No. What do you mean? Like
That's
if I don't have my phone, then what? I can just use it like my laptop and like communicate to people that way. I think it's pretty impossible. Like,
To live.
you know how much hours a day you spend on your phone?
Yeah, but if you didn't
You-
have it,
you spend-
if you
you
didn't have it,
spend-
you would survive.
You spend 2 minutes a day using toothpaste. 2 minutes a day.
I mean,
You spend
that was
5
a joke.
hours.
That was a joke.
The answer is my phone, Catherine. Well,
yeah, maybe too. I like an audio device, something that plays music and podcasts and stuff. I like to spend my time doing that.
ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this episode of the Changeover Podcast. Drop a like, drop a comment. Oh,
Drop a like for Gael and Songa in the back there, man. Black legends.
y'all like the new design?
My
also,
goats.
when we raise some more funds, we're gonna upgrade this set, replace this broken couch that I'm sitting on at some point. So yeah, we have some big goals coming.
You know, I used to say Ale on the court when I was young because I used to watch that man play.
You know one word in French and it's Ale.
I was like 11 years old. Ale! Stupid as that.
All right, everybody. Thanks for the questions. Hopefully y'all like this episode. See y'all next week.